My first assignment today is to create a short little video for the Humane Society of North Texas, who will be visiting the community food bank here in Fort Worth later this month. So to get started, I opened up a brand new project in Adobe Premiere Pro. Once I opened up the project, I created a new sequence. Now, a project is basically a book, whereas a sequence is a chapter in the book. So I'll use this project for the community food bank throughout the entire month of September and just add new sequences or chapters to the project. So I dragged my first video clip, which I recorded back on, you can see the label on there maybe, 2018-8/21. So, and all my labeling, I always start off with the year, the month, and then the day, followed by a description. So this one's 2018-8/21 CFB for Community Food Bank, HSNT for Humane Society of North Texas, and then C was the third video that I shot in the sequence that morning, followed by Hispanic promo, and MP4 is just the name of the file. So I just dumped it there on the middle of the timeline, gave myself a little bit of room at the beginning, and next up I wanted to add better audio than what I recorded from my handheld video camera. So I drug that in here, and if you take a look at the green, it really should have that WAV file on the top, also on the bottom half of that green, but it recorded only on the left track because I was using an external microphone that was a lavalier mic connected to this audio recording device, which is the Zoom H5. So it's only going into one channel, which happened to be the left channel, so I need to correct that and put it on the right channel as well. But first, I don't need to use the whole audio clip because we actually took 3 takes during that session for the Hispanic promo. So I marked the in point and the out point for the section that I plan to use, and then I dropped that down on the timeline. Now it's out of sync with the video, so next I needed to sync it up. And to get a better look at that, I opened it up in a different window in the program and then selected a feature that syncs it automatically. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This morning it did. So you can see on the bottom green bar that there's only the left track at this particular point that's available. So if you played it in stereo, sound's only going to come in on the left. I also wanted to edit the audio file because you can see on the bottom right box how the green bar extends to the left beyond my video clip, which is shown in the blue. So in other words, the sound starts about 3 seconds before my video starts. So I trimmed that up and made them start at the same time. Next thing I did is I converted the audio clip and added the right channel so that basically you've got the same sound coming out of both speakers. At this point I wanted to add a logo at the end, so I put the Humane Society of North Texas logo, which is a PNG file that I either created or found online, and it's okay on the black background, but I wanted to add a white background to make it pop a bit more, so I added that using what's called a legacy title. And that's what it looks like there. Since this is also in conjunction with the Community Food Bank, I figured I would add their logo as well. So I did that, put that over on the right-hand side. And that's when I noticed that the background that I thought was white was really kind of a dirty white or somewhat gray. So I went back into the program and changed it to all white at that point. I also wanted the logos to grow towards the screen, just subtly towards the end as the final music is playing. And so I used the scale function, and this is not a tutorial by the way, but I just used the scale function in the effects settings to make that grow just a bit more. The next thing I wanted to do is put a really cool audio file, a sound track, a song, beneath the whole video. It's something that's in sync with the feeling, the mood. And so I looked at all the videos, all the audio files that I had downloaded onto my computer from YouTube, which are accessible to content creators, and looked in a file folder that I think was labeled Happy or Bright, something like that, and found a track that I wanted to use and you can see it in the upper left box. Now there's a problem here. I upgraded my version of Adobe Premiere Pro last week, and ever since I did that, the WAV files, or actually the MP3 files that I import into the program, somehow get scrambled. So all that WAV signature that you see on the left-hand side of the green box on the upper left, that WAV signature should go all the way across to the far side, to the right, but it's not. It's being cut off halfway in the middle, and it's scrambled. And it sounds a little bit funky. In fact, it sounds like this. So it's a bit choppy, it's out of sync, something's not right. So what I had to do was edit that clip in another program called Adobe Audition. And when I brought it into it, you can see that the clip here only goes halfway across, but I converted it to a WAV file, and it brought the song all the way across the whole graphic spectrum, for whatever that's worth, and made it sound like it should sound. So I re-imported that back into the timeline, and everything is now good to go as far as that. I also lowered the volume of the song so it's not just dominating the sound. At this point, I added a little B-roll footage, which features the sign that the person from the Humane Society of North Texas holds up at one point. This is actually from another video, and it was a different person, but anyway, I just threw that in there. It doesn't really allow the person a whole lot of time to look at it, but it's at least somewhat of a close-up. The next thing is my audio. If you look on the bottom right, you see the green file on the bottom that extends out to the right. The song is playing well after the video itself ends. The three boxes that you see in pink, those are my closing graphics, the two logos and the white box beneath it. And so the song just keeps on playing from, about 58 seconds all the way to a minute and 40 something. So what I did is I trimmed that off of that and made it flush with the logos. And then on the very bottom right, you see a series of dots, including a blue one that's raised. What I did is I raised the audio just a bit more as the logos were playing, and then I brought it down to absolute zero at the very end, so it's not a jarring cutoff. At that point, the video's done, so I exported it to a media file, and it got converted into an MP4 file, which is great for uploading to YouTube and to Facebook. And if the video is short enough, then like shorter than 60 seconds, then you can upload it to Instagram as well. So here is what that final video looks like.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Samantha Ramírez y estamos aquí, Humane Society of North Texas, en el Community Food Bank en 3000 Galvez Avenue en Fort Worth, Texas. Y estamos aquí para ayudar a la comunidad que necesite ayuda con sus animales, para estabilizar, para vacunar y microchip, todo lo que necesite. Estamos aquí feliz para ayudar el tercer martes de cada mes. Si necesita más información, puede ir a hsnt.org y puede buscar nuestro SNF program, y ahí puede buscar más información para compartir con toda la gente. No estamos aquí para decirle no a cualquier persona, estamos para ayudar. Hoy tuvimos una señora que llegó con 13 gatos y nada es... ningún animal vamos a decirles que no, estamos para ayudar. So pueden venir tercer martes de cada mes, estamos aquí.
In this series, I would like to do some creative exercises to take my photography and videography to the next level. The first one that I'm going to do is to play around with the slow motion option that it's on the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus smartphone that I got a few months ago. And I've never used it for anything in terms of making special effects other than time lapses of the clouds. So I have got a wonderful water bottle that was a gift that was sent to me by Kathy Lynn, who is the mother of Nathan Lynn, who's is celebrated, I'm not exactly sure what date, but he's celebrated each May at Texas Wesleyan University in a very special event where they bring in 4th grade kids from the school that he used to attend as part of a fundraiser. So Be the Ripple is the theme for that, and I'll post a link to their social media at the end of this segment. So what I want to do for this particular segment is to play around with the slow motion function. So it is in the camera setting here of the Galaxy S9. So I'm going to turn on my camera and put the focus of the slow motion video on the thing that's moving, which in this case is the waterfall back here below. So I'm going to press start to record, and what it does is it waits for motion to be detected, and once motion's detected in that zone, then it starts to record video. And it's only a short bit of video. It's I think 3 seconds long or so. So I just pressed record, and here is the video of that little segment. What I'm going to do now is back up a little bit. What I'm guessing is that the bottle itself was not in focus because of the more narrow depth of field, and because the fountain is relatively far away compared to the bottle. So what I'm going to do is put the bottle over here and move the camera even further away, and then do the same type of setup. And I've got the motion detection square on that fountain in the back, and I'll go ahead and hit record, and the camera's waiting, looking for motion. I think it found it, and it has successfully recorded that. So here is that second segment. Okay, let me try something different here. I'm going to take the water bottle and set it down here in this fountain, just like that, which is, let me center that a bit more, or maybe I'll do it at slightly at an angle. This is a completely wasted shot, by the way, because really can't see the logo. So I'm going to try to get the camera zoomed in on something that's moving. Move the motion square over to the fountain and press record and see what happens. It's waiting, waiting, waiting. There it goes. Okay, here's what that clip looks like. So, not particularly fantastic given that the logo wasn't showing, but just trying to get a sense of the ability of this camera to pick up and process slow motion shots. It's probably better designed just to focus on the thing in motion rather than placing an object in the foreground. So what I'll do, put the water bottle back over here, and I'm going to get a little bit closer to the fountain itself. And I'm using a little Joby tripod for this, which is nice to wrap around trees or poles or really any place you want to put a small camera that's light enough for it to hold it. Okay, I've got the motion detector square over the fountain that's closest to me. So I'll go ahead and hit record, and it's waiting for motion, and I think it got it. And here's what it looks like. All right, so that was number 4. And finally, one last one that I'll do here at the swimming pool, which nobody is at the moment. Let's just get down here. Hopefully I'm still in the video frame here. And get a shot of this fountain with the water going into this little pool. So hit record, it's waiting, and we got it. Okay, so that is clip number 5 right here, Samsung Galaxy S9, in case I was out of the frame, S9 Plus, and that's the slow motion feature. Usually when I do slow motion, I use my video camera, which is the Sony AX53, and what it does is it will record as many shots in a sequence at a time interval that you specify for as long as you have battery. But then what you have to do is you have to take all of those shots, which could be 300 individual shots taken over a 5-minute period, for example, one every second, and you have to stitch those together on your computer, which is not really that big of a deal. It's just another hurdle to jump through. So I do it in Adobe Photoshop and simply stitch them together as an image sequence and convert it to an MP4. In fact, the Whataburger sequence that you saw at the very beginning of this video was shot on the Sony video camera and stitched together in Photoshop. But this, it just does it right on the camera and should just do it automatically. So you don't even have to mess around with additional software since it processes that here in phone. So anyway, that's all I've got for you here for the creative exercise of the day here from the swimming pool, the empty swimming pool at the beginning of the TCU school year here in Fort Worth.